Hello. Howdy, y'all. You know, it might be better if this thing's turned around, because if I can't see, it's okay. Do my best to focus on the camera. Although that beautiful greenery and the bus behind me does look appealing to the eyes. Maybe if my eyes were present, it would be helpful. Yeah. Basket here, might as well make use of it. Just plan on making like an outline or a list or something to go through talking points. Figured I might make multiple of these videos before I actually get to one that I feel comfortable posting, but hopefully we can make it through in one shot. Was encouraged, motivated by my team, Holistic Justice League. I believe not mostly, but led by Seema and Raw, of course, but it was a post I saw of hers. Post a 3-minute video on your why. I guess I have some talking points here. Share your why. Your reason for being, for living. This specific instance is your why for wanting to become and making the push to become a part of Purium and the Holistic Justice League as a whole. I guess I've been the why that comes to mind initially, and what resounded for me was just wanting to further support myself nutritionally. It's been a path that I've been on for probably the better part of 4 years now, 3. Really didn't maybe understand how nutrition and you are what you eat came into as big of a role. Oh yeah, we're recording. 2:42. So we're definitely gonna suffice 3 minutes, but hopefully it'll be reasonable. Actually started learning about nutrition and how our organism functions through the plant kingdom and growing cannabis. Pardon me, clipboard. That's not going to be convenient. And how their structures and vessels work with the different nutrients we're feeding them and putting them into them, and the different concerns and issues and symptoms I've experienced in the past, growing up being diagnosed with ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and contending with the belief that I was different and was unable to collect or organize or focus, and there's a lot of power behind what you believe and the limiting beliefs you put or those you allow people to put upon you. So I guess that's been a constant path I've followed and been learning from. Different weight gain at times. I guess initially the medications that I was put on were helping to control or contend with the amount of weight I had, keeping me rather thin. But then coming off of that in my late teens, began to gain weight, and I think that's standard as well, due to aging and our body degrading, but that has a lot to do with what we put in it and how we treat it. Uh, so, I guess my why was since I had learned that the human condition or the experience, not necessarily even human, like I said, I learned it from the plant kingdom, could be encouraged or elevated through nutrition. I wanted to follow that and lean into that with the best of my ability and share that knowledge with others that I know whom are suffering as well. Pardon. Baking soda. So, seeing and spending time with different people in my life, such as my grandma Lynn comes to mind. Seeing her in a nursing home, hardly able to grasp a thought or form a cohesive sentence, and seeing her slowly lose what little anything she had was really disheartening. And I could see a clear difference when I would visit and bring her nutrition, usually in the form of a raw, organic, vegan shake. My real good friends, John and Nicole, led me onto a lot of different organic and plant-based regimens and knowledge, specifically leading to the Garden of Life, which I had used for a number of years and really enjoyed, and had shared with my grandmother and seen instant results. Like, uh, forget or discount the fact, that her eyes would light up and she'd get excited when she saw me arrive, but I could literally see the color and vibrance restore to her eyes after just a few moments of me, sharing actual nutrition with her, because none of the stuff I ever saw in that building or any of those locations has ever even closely resembled food or nutrition or ugh. So that was just one more reassuring step for me to know that that was a positive and beneficial, use of my energy. And so I've been wanting to and have encouraged myself and others to partake and invest in these products and organic foods and to heal themselves, and had been hearing that, well, besides the fact that it's costly to a degree, I mean, it's costly in other ways to not invest in your health. There's expenditures and detriments that you will accrue, but, it just visually appears that it's more expensive, so to say, to invest in proper nutrition. And most people aren't necessarily led to what actual proper nutrition is. Lots of people think soy and tofu is healthy or nutritious, beneficial, but most of soy is conventional, which means it's non-organic and heavily sprayed with pesticides. Corn, GMO, and soy are like the number one dosed crops. So unless you're getting organic soy, and even that has repercussions within your bodily chemistry, another video. So knowing what's actually healthy versus what appears to be healthy or what is advertised or led us to believe as healthy is also been a journey, to say the least. So finding something that I knew and could believe in and felt good about, sharing, representing, investing in, all of the things. So, Garden of Life is great. They have a great product and served me for quite a number of months or years, like I said. But also hearing that they were, like I said, it's a continuous purchase. It involved plastic in the form of a cylinder each time, and I had to go pick them up. So, time and value monetarily, as well as on the back end, disposing of or figuring out how to repurpose. And then hearing that Garden of Life was potentially in relations or talks of being purchased by Nestle, which is in connection with Cargill, which is one of the leading producers of deforestation and all sorts of things that are unhealthy for our planet and environment, which coincides with us because that's where we live. So, making moves to benefit my body and my environment within, but also without, as mindfully as possible. So, focusing and seeking organic nutrition, but potentially in a better way. So, that's where Purium comes in. I had been on this thought of looking for an alternative for perhaps a year, maybe a bit longer, when I heard of Purium. Purium, based in the US, beneficial, although we're a global community, so we are one, support the whole, although these people are local, so to speak. They also provided the highest, one of the highest, if not the highest, level of quality in organic nutrition through the farms they utilize and encourage, and their business practices and form of harvesting and packaging. It's tested thoroughly, grown like more than 100 miles away from any non-conventional farms, so there's zero possibility of spray over or contamination. The soil is premium soil, like volcanic lake bed ash rich. I'm not describing that to the best of my ability, but like every level that I took the time to research into was top marks from everything that I have, from every perspective that I'm able to observe currently, was unanimously top marks. I've gone through a raw journey, meaning foods uncooked or heated to less than 118 degrees to keep the raw enzymes. So their products are raw as well. Even specifically proprietarily to their brand, having other methods which allow them to process that sub-raw more beneficial. I believe they noted 79 degrees, which is, the cooler the better. You're going to preserve more terpenes, volatile organic compounds, nutrients. The fresher, the better. So, premium products founded by premium people with premium mindsets and holistic health in mind. David Sandoval and Amy Venner, I believe it is. The co-founders, Dave Sandoval, um, I guess spending a great period of his life traveling and experiencing and meeting with people of knowledge and, you know, I guess education in this field of different plant-based medicines and the mind body nutrition connection, and then using all of that to form a corporation based on the most beneficial substances available to mankind, making them available to mankind conveniently and easily, and uh, in the most quality and intentional ways. Including having a, the ability to offset the cost. Like I said, with the Garden of Life, it maintained, I think it was upwards of $45 for a cylinder, which was 30 servings. Great. I should have done the math before this, but I know that breaks out down to be pretty reasonable. I'm not even going to attempt to do it offhand. I'm sure it's less than $5 a meal or something. Should be easy being close to 30, but like I said, the man has kept us down. So, in doing so, I have been able to be part of this community, so that I may uplift my internal community, the microbiome, the beneficial and otherwise bacteria of my internal flora, so that I may experience the highest level of experience of life, clarity, happiness, wellness, just physical, emotional, mental clarity. The results and effects are resounding on both sides, for the benefit and for the detriment. So I guess that was initially my drive, and the crescendo that led me to where I'm at. And when asked about my why, that's what comes to mind, which is healing myself and those around me, so that we may appreciate our time together and enjoy it for as long as we have, but not only in longevity but quality of experience, because I know multiple people that I've witnessed multiple people that have, a lackluster or less attitude towards life and even being a part of it. So that's really disheartening to me. Um, I understand to a degree certain situations or circumstances, although I feel like with our current means and situations and technology, there shouldn't be any real reason for anyone to be suffering. Thanks. So, Oh my gosh, there's no way we're at 20 minutes. Maybe we'll cut it down. So I guess that's what led me to look inward of why I feel so heavily compelled to heal and share and elevate the situation and reflect on some of my own conditions. So like I said, I've battled at times with mental conditions such as ADHD, other times being led to believe or told that I was at times diagnosed as autistic, which I could see, but I don't necessarily wholeheartedly agree with. And I also have learned it linked to nutrition. So other things that have been part of my environment that have affected my journey or decisions potentially are that of my microbiome and gut bacteria. Just as candida thrive on sugars and carbohydrates and yeast and will compel one to pursue said subjects, there are other conditions that can sway your thoughts or beliefs or objectives. One of those that I've been contending with for most of my life now, I'm finding out, is skin conditions. Literally from head to toe. Being thought of or viewed as what's known as athlete's foot. You know, different dry or itchiness around my feet. Having sometimes that of my scalp or other parts of my skin. Sometimes most prevalently, unfortunately, being my cherished masculine groin. It's been aware to me for some time of the different effects that foods have on that situation, but not thoroughly. And that wasn't presented to me by my doctors, which I visited with this subject, I believe, as early as 15 years of age. One specific incident that's now coming to mind that potentially was repressed very much from this same reason was, like I said, around the age of 15, I had a visit with my attending or physician, Dr. Humphrey of Fleming Medical Practice in Dallas. I recall coming to my mother with a pretty personal subject of finding bumps or warts on my groin and genitalia area, which was very disconcerting and disheartening, depressing. Like, it's not something that anybody really wants to experience, I would assume. It was difficult to speak with my mother then. It's partially difficult, yet easy to. And even then, when I was discussing it with the doctor, it was it was a struggle for me to communicate with the way I felt about it. And I'm happy to say that he was very belittling of the situation. Thank you for that. Really kind of, I don't know if sensing my concern or repressed. Yeah, it was a very emotionally concerning situation for me, and one that I don't really feel he took to heart or was very sympathetic or empathetic about, which I'm beginning to understand medical practitioners nowadays is not necessarily under their job description. It's neither here nor there. Neither was I encouraged or informed or led to believe any further about it, other than it was a thing. I probably contracted it through, my own activities, what have you, and really almost played off as not necessarily that big of a deal, I guess. I believe I was encouraged or led to acknowledgement of treatments such as creams or freezing, neither of which really target or heal the condition. Rather, they just treat the symptoms and kind of just ignore it. Not so good. So, fast forward, really haven't had that situation reoccur. Multiple other conditions I believe now to be related to that, although not manifesting in the same situation. So it wasn't of my understanding that they were related, or even in the future seeking attention and advice for the skin conditions, not necessarily the warts themselves, since that had seemed to be a thing of the past. I was again led to just creams, salves, and maybe some antifungal pills, proving to be slightly beneficial to some degree, momentarily, and maybe only while using products, if even that much. But not really getting to the root of the cause. So recently, noticing or finding out that different other things come into play nutritionally. None of the doctors mention that gluten or sugars may exacerbate said issues. Dairy, animal products, all difficult for the body to digest and lead to different conditions, and the ability of those conditions to overrun, which now looking back has resonated as why I've chosen to follow different nutritional paths or absurd, like purchasing 2 pounds of cinnamon at Life Source, like antibacterial. So, recently, learning and understanding that that condition is also HPV, or human papillomavirus, which is a hugely prevalent, apparently, condition that's quite common and enjoyed by many, although I'm not sure fully understood, because looking into it leads me to find claims of cancer and other growths, and it's just not a good condition for the body. So, with that new knowledge, I guess my why for Purium and my drive to heal others is really a reciprocation of my drive to heal my internal community, so that I may better give from a cup that is full. I'm sure there's other decisions I've made that have been positive that have been for the detriment, and assuredly fear-based, and sounds like with reason, due to my body being in a literal fight for its life, fight or flight scenario. Consistently, my immune system is battling a condition. Only lately have I been able to really comprehend and understand what it is that I'm experiencing, and act on it with intentional behaviors. I really feel that pure